I was on TikTok late at night, just killing time, when I stumbled across a profile that genuinely made my skin crawl. It wasn't an edited video, it wasn't a joke, and there was no warning that it was supposed to be horror content. It was just a clown, a jester-type doll with a cracked smile and a face so realistic it looked almost human. The first time the video appeared, I assumed it was some strange trend. But when I clicked on the profile, I realized there was something much more disturbing going on. The clown kept appearing in different places around the house, always completely still, yet never in the same position twice. The creator barely spoke. He only filmed the house and the doll. And the more I watched, the stronger the feeling grew that there was nothing normal about that profile at all. In one of the videos, the owner of the profile said he had heard strange noises around midnight. The recording showed him walking toward the room where the clown was supposed to be kept. But when he opens the door, the doll simply isn't there. No cuts, no transitions, nothing that could explain the change. And while he's trying to understand what happened, you can hear a sound coming from the hallway behind him. He turns quickly, terrified, but there's no one there. But when he looks back at the door, it slowly begins to open on its own. And standing behind it is the clown, head tilted to one side, as if it were watching him.
I just heard knocking from the closet.
From that moment on, the creator of the profile starts to look genuinely desperate. He decides to lock the clown in the basement and installs a security camera pointed directly at it. The first few days are calm, nothing unusual, nothing alarming. But then, in the middle of the night, he gets a motion alert. He opens the camera feed and sees the device shaking slightly from side to side. At first, it doesn't seem like anything serious. The heater below the camera tends to vibrate when it turns on. But as he keeps watching, something changes. The clown's arm moves a few centimeters. It's not too fast to look fake, and not too slow to seem mechanical. It's a strange, uncomfortable motion, almost as if the doll were trying to reach for the camera. And honestly, after seeing all of this, I still can't tell whether it's acting, some kind of bizarre project, or something truly unexplainable. All I know is that it was one of the most disturbing profiles I've ever come across on TikTok. Her name is Hannah Berlin, and she claims that the place where her mother works is simply haunted. In her videos, Hannah films the building at night, and at first glance everything looks completely normal, until you start noticing the details. Hallways that are too empty, a heavy, unnatural silence, lights flickering for no reason, and doors that seem to move just a little more than they should. In one of her strangest videos, she films the entrance to a dark room when suddenly a sharp, dry noise echoes from inside, as if something were dragging itself across the floor. The camera shakes, she hesitates, and for a few seconds you feel like something is about to appear in the doorway, but nothing ever does. This story begins at 5 in the morning, when a mother wakes up frightened by the desperate cries of her young daughter. The child seemed overwhelmed by fear and couldn't explain exactly what had happened. Trying to calm her down, the mother took her to the living room, and the two sat on the couch to watch something on TV, the usual routine whenever the girl has a nightmare. But that day, something was different. The girl only relaxed after begging, insistently, for her mother to close the door to her own bedroom. She didn't even want to look in that direction. The mother, assuming it was just childhood imagination, later decided to open the door to show her there was nothing inside, just the same empty bedroom as always. But the moment the door opened, the child's reaction was completely unexpected. Her eyes widened, she burst into tears, and hid in her mother's arms immediately, as if she had seen something the adults couldn't. The mother, realizing this was not just ordinary fear, quickly shut the door again to soothe her. The expression on the girl's face was pure terror, and that reaction stayed on the mother's mind for the rest of the day. Sometime later, on another night, the mother was alone in the house when she noticed the dog behaving strangely. The animal paced nervously around the kitchen and suddenly began growling at the corner of the room, as if something was standing there. He stared intensely at an empty spot, stepping forward, backing away, growling again, fully alert. After these incidents, the mother began to believe that something strange was happening inside the house. Something only the little girl and the dog could sense. To her, these behaviors, from both her daughter and the animal, were not simple coincidences. It felt as though the house was being visited by something she couldn't see, but they clearly could. I came across a video on TikTok that looks, at first glance, like nothing more than an old recording of a Snow White statue, but when you watch closely, you realize there's something deeply wrong with it. The statue should be completely motionless, yet between one cut and the next, the angle of its eyes seems to shift, as if it's following the person filming. The dim lighting, the distorted audio, and the low-quality camera make everything even more unsettling. The user who posted the video claims that this statue once stood in an old park, and that many people avoided walking near it at night because they felt like they were being watched.
Mamadas, güey. No, Dios, no. No, güey, no mames.
¿Qué fue eso, güey?
No sé.
No mames, güey, no mames.
¿Crees que haya sido ella?
Güey, nos estamos metiendo más adentro.
The strangest part is that there's no visible movement in the recording. Nothing shifts, nothing makes a sound. Yet every single frame gives the impression that the statue is just a little more alive than it should be. And that's exactly why this video is terrifying so many people. It's not about what happens. It's about what feels like it's about to happen. Now tell me, do you think this is just pareidolia, or was that statue actually moving?
¿Tú fuiste la que se movió, mujer? A ver, güey. Güey, es que era el vestido también así, güey.
¿Verdad?
Amarillo.
Yo pensé que era el velador, te lo juro,
Yo también, güey.
bueno que me lo tuviste.
No, güey, no era el velador, mira. Blancanieves.
Blancanieves.
Ay, güey, dime que no era cierto, güey.